Episode 16, Officers of the Shadows. 10 men, 10 paths, and one dying empire. When empires fall, true warriors don't hide behind palace walls, they stay on the battlefield. But in the final days of the Ottoman Empire, these warriors were neither angels nor devils. They were officers with eyes full of dreams and hands stained with blood. Men who tried to rewrite history with their swords. From the war rooms of Istanbul to the deserts of Medina, from the mountains of the Caucasus to the trenches of Gallipoli, these 10 men became the last voices of an empire and the first shadows of the modern Middle East. The 10 officers. 1. Enver Pasha, the dreamer of a lost empire. 2. Talat Pasha, the architect of power and a ruthless politician. 3. Cemal Pasha, the tiger of Damascus. 4. Mustafa Kemal Pasha, Atatürk, the officer of the future. 5. İsmet İnönü, the silent general. 6. Fahreddin Pasha, the guardian of Medina. 7. Nuri Pasha, Kiligil, the brother in the shadows. 8. Rashid Bey of Diyarbakir, the doctor and the executioner. 9. Fevzi Çakmak, the military mind of the new army. 10. Kazım Karabekir, the protector of the nation. 1. Enver Pasha, the dreamer of a lost empire. Title: The Sword of the Caliphate. Role: Minister of War, de facto leader of the Ottoman army. Traits: ambitious, charismatic, but strategically reckless. At just 33, Enver became Minister of War, an age when most men were still captains. Backed by the Germans, he dragged the Ottoman Empire into World War I, convinced he could unite the entire Muslim world against Western colonialism. But his ambition led to disaster. The Battle of Sarıkamış, where over 70,000 soldiers froze to death due to his poor planning. Even after the fall, he continued chasing his pan-Turkic dream in Central Asia, where he finally died in 1922. Quote, Enver came with a sword, died with a dream, and remained as a legend. 2. Talat Pasha, the architect of power and ruthless politics. Title: The political brain of the Committee of Union and Progress. Role: Minister of the Interior, later Grand Vizier. Traits: calculated, organized, devoid of empathy. Talat was the mastermind behind the desks of power. He controlled the Ottoman bureaucracy and, from behind the curtains, designed a policy of ethnic cleansing. In 1915, he signed the order for the deportation of Armenians, one of the greatest tragedies of the 20th century. He later fled to Germany, only to be assassinated in Berlin by an Armenian avenger. Quote, Talat killed more with his pen than others ever did with their swords. 3. Cemal Pasha, the Tiger of Damascus. Title: Ruler of Greater Syria. Role: Naval Minister, Commander of the Fourth Army. Traits: harsh, disciplined, theatrical in his power. Cemal ruled the Levant with an iron hand. He executed dozens of Arab intellectuals in Damascus and Beirut, igniting the flame of Arab nationalism. He sought order, but bred rebellion. In 1922, he too met his end, assassinated in Tbilisi. Quote, He brought order, but lost every heart. 4. Mustafa Kemal Pasha, the officer of the future. Title: Hero of Gallipoli, founder of modern Turkey. Role: frontline commander in Gallipoli and Syria, later leader of the national resistance. Traits: pragmatic, disciplined, realist. While others played politics, Mustafa fought. At Gallipoli, his tactical genius halted the Allied invasion. He believed empires were not saved by promises, but by educated, disciplined citizens. From the ashes of the Ottoman collapse, he built a republic. Quote, "He was not the last officer of an empire. He was the first man of a nation." 5. İsmet İnönü, the Silent General. Title: The Mind of the War of Independence. Role: Commander at Sakarya and Dumlupinar. Later, Prime Minister and President. Traits: analytical, stoic, rational. The quietest general of his time, and one of the sharpest. His patience and precision in battle paved the road to the Treaty of Lausanne. Quote, "If Atatürk was the soul of the Republic, İnönü was its mind." 6. Fahreddin Pasha, the Guardian of Medina. Title: The Lion of the Prophet City. Role: Commander of the Hijaz Expeditionary Force. Traits: devout, unyielding, loyal to faith and duty. As the empire crumbled in Europe, he held Medina for 2 years against Arab rebels and British forces. Even after the armistice, he refused to surrender until he was physically captured. Quote, "I will not hand over the key to the Prophet's city to any hand but God's." 7. Nuri Pasha, Kiligil, the Brother in the Shadows. Title: Commander of the Islamic Army of the Caucasus. Role: Military leader in Azerbaijan and the Caucasus. Traits: adventurous, ideological, fiercely independent. Half-brother to Enver Pasha, he led Ottoman forces into Baku in 1918, dreaming of a united Turkic world. After the war, he turned to arms trading until he died mysteriously in an explosion. Quote, "War wasn't his duty, it was his addiction." 8. Rashid Bey of Diyarbakir, the Doctor and the Executioner. Title: Governor of Diyarbakir. Role: Military administrator, enforcer of the ethnic purges in eastern Anatolia. Traits: fanatical, loyal, ruthless. A lesser-known but pivotal figure in the Armenian genocide, Rashid Bey orchestrated mass killings in the Diyarbakir region. He fled after the war, but was eventually captured and executed. Quote, "He used the law not for justice, but for elimination." 9. Fevzi Çakmak, the military mind of the new army. Title: The Strategist. Role: Chief of Staff of the Ottoman Army, later of the Turkish Republic. Traits: methodical, nationalist, non-partisan. Unlike many of his peers, he avoided extremes. After the empire's fall, he stayed to rebuild, shaping the army of modern Turkey. Quote, "If Atatürk built the nation, Fevzi Çakmak built its army." 10. Kazım Karabekir, the Protector of the Nation. Title: Father of the War Orphans. Role: Commander of the Eastern Front during the War of Independence. Traits: humane, disciplined, patriotic. He was among the first to join Mustafa Kemal's movement. In Erzurum and Kars, he liberated the eastern provinces from occupation. Later, he distanced himself from Atatürk's authoritarian politics and retired quietly. Quote, "He thought not to be remembered, but so his homeland would survive." Summary: The Officers of the Shadows. 10 men, 10 different fates, one dying empire. Each carried a piece of the Ottoman soul. Enver's ambition, Talat's cold politics, Cemal's iron, Atatürk's logic, Fahreddin's faith, İnönü's discipline, and all the shadows in between. Quote, "The empire didn't fall to cannon fire. It fell to the ambitions of its own officers." End of episode 16, and the beginning of a new journey. Next up, episodes 16.1 through 16.10. 10 mini-episodes, each one a cinematic portrait of these men, their rise, their fall, and how their choices still shape the Middle East today. If you enjoyed this historical deep dive, pin, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Because in the next series, you won't just learn what happened, you'll feel how 10 officers' ambitions redrew the map of the modern world. History isn't what happened, it's what still lives within us.